let's cover another really important concept, and that is differentiating your product, and again, straying kind of more on the further side away from commodity items. We are trying to give the customer the best value, something that's going to sell really well, and there are several different ways you can do that. You can do one or the other, you can do a combination of things. It really depends on your product, your budget, and what the market wants. So when you have done all of the above that I talked about, which is studying your competition, you'll really get a better idea of what your typical buyer will want, and you want to lean more in that direction and give them what they want. Okay, so let's begin. How do we differentiate your product? Okay, first, like I said, you want to fix anything that's broken in the product to the best of your abilities, and make sure you're not giving them a faulty item or something they're obviously complaining about. You want to also include everything that is amazing within the product, and that is a given, obviously, right? The next thing is you can do a set or a kit. So if someone is selling a 1-pack, maybe they will benefit from a 2-pack or a 5-pack or a 10-pack. Example, say you're selling something for a classroom, right? And people sell it in kits of 10 or 15, but a classroom has a 30 kids, right? Maybe you can come out with a pack of 30 that's more cost effective than everyone selling a 15-pack if they were to buy two 15-packs together. And that will be more enticing for teachers to purchase, and that could increase your sales. Perhaps the market wants some color variation. Maybe something is sold in a very unattractive color, and you can go in there and add and make something even better that way. Okay, be careful with variations and really innovating completely outside of the market. There is a lot of room to innovate within markets, but make sure that it is within the market and that you are not offering something that is completely left field that nobody can relate to and therefore will not buy your product. That is why reading all of the reviews and studying the market is so important. And when you do that, like I said, you'll get a general sense of what the audience wants, and you can put that out. Okay, a great different way of adding value and differentiating is having an amazing listing, which means you have amazing product photography, you have great images, great graphics, they're very descriptive, and some people don't actually take the due diligence to do that. I know it's a lot of work to brainstorm those factors or to get a good graphics artist to do all this, but it's absolutely necessary. This is not something that you want to, cheap out on and not pay the extra money for. It is something that will add a lot of value to your product, okay? So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind with variations, I just want to quickly mention this. Some products do have many variations, and you don't want to initially go into those types of products just because you are going to be tying up your cash in many variations. Say there is an item and it comes in 10 different colors, such as a handbag or a clothing item of different sizes. That's not necessarily something you want to innovate within the market or really differentiate, although there are many ways to differentiate clothing in different colors. But if you have to launch 10 different variations, that's almost as launching 10 different products at once, and that's not worth it. And if you are comparing yourself against sellers that actually do have these variations and can afford the inventory and all the variations, then you're going to have a huge disadvantage because you only have 1 or 2 colors to pick from and they have 10. So really watch out for that in the markets, right? But you do want to make sure that you're adding some type of value. Another great way to do is bundling, whether we talked about something as a kit, such as a candle making kit, or just literally bundling an item with something that it's used with. For example, if you are getting an iPhone charger, this happens so much, okay? Have you ever gone to the store and you're like at an airport or a bookshop, whatever, or you get something for free, like here's a free iPhone charger, and it never has that little adapter that goes into the wall. It's always the cord, and you think, that's great, but I can only charge this from my computer, and actually not even anymore because the MacBooks decided to remove the little USB port. So this is basically useless unless I have the adapter. And maybe I'm the only one, but I tend to lose those little adapters, those little suckers. I always tend to lose them. I don't know if I'm the only one. You probably are too. Let me know if you are, but those are the things that always get lost, and you get stuck with an infinite amount of those cords. So if you're on Amazon, this is just a example, but if it's a product that requires the cord and the little adapter, and you know that a customer will benefit so much more with the adapter than just the cord itself, then include the adapter part, right? That's called a product bundle. It's something that is necessary to use with the product, or something that's going to make the customer's life a lot easier. You don't want to do things out of left field, like I mentioned earlier. You don't want to just go and say, hey, you know what? I'm selling cat food. I'm just going to put a cat leash in there because people with cats are feeding their pets and they like leashes, they need to walk. No, that doesn't make sense. You have to do something that is really relevant to the product, that's going to enhance the use of the product for the customer, not something completely random. Another note about bundling is you don't want the bundle to be confusing. Say you are selling one item that's $10 and you decide to bundle it with an item that's also around the $10 range. That might not be the best thing to do, because now the customer is confused. Is he buying the actual product? Is he buying the bundle aspect? What is he purchasing? Why is he spending twice more money, right? You want it to make sense and to be logical. Say you're selling a product for $10 and the bundled item would cost the customer $7, but you can get it manufactured for $2, and together when you bundle it you can sell it for $15 and you have an extra $4 profit margin, because you can now increase your price more than what you were trying to sell it for in the beginning. And the customer will see it and say, hey, you know what, I was gonna buy that anyways and it costs $10 here, but I only have to pay $5 when I buy this together. Might as well just do it, right? That's something that you definitely should consider. And there's a really great way to find out what you should bundle your items with. Now, bundling is not always something that you must do, but again, study your market, see what the customer wants, and see if it's something that makes sense. If it's out of left field, if it doesn't make sense, if you're just trying to bundle for the sake of bundling and you think it's going to make a difference just based on your intuition, then you are probably incorrect. There's actual data that shows what is the best to bundle with, and again, you have to really study all the sellers. So let me show you what that is. So we are back to our infamous candle making kits. Something that's really interesting is, and again, you should really be doing this, click into every single one of these competitors, scroll a little bit down right here, and look at this really nifty frequently bought together section. Now, what does this mean? This isn't just something random that we're thinking of, that we think, hey, you know what? If we add more candles to the kit, then customers are gonna wanna buy this more. No, this is actually shown by customer data. When a customer adds this candle making kit to their cart, they also add whatever this is and whatever this is to their cart and buy it in one transaction. And that is what this is showing right here. So how is this gonna benefit you, okay? Okay, so let's see. This item is the candle making kit. This one is some cotton candle wick, and this is candle maker store some wax. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not a candle maker. I'm not exactly sure what this means. If I studied the market, I would know what this means, but right now I don't. But the important thing is that we know people are buying these two items alongside this, okay? That's the first seller. Let's look at this person right here. What are people buying with him? They are buying some type of colorful things and this kit as well. So again, some wicks. Okay, so maybe wicks is something you want to include. Maybe this candle doesn't have enough wicks. Some kits, you know, only have enough for one use, and then you need to make a supplemental amount. So if you include more of, let's say, wicks or whatever this is, a customer might be happy. And then think about it. In the future, you can release something just like this, where your customers that have bought this and they're happy with their purchase, they're going to come back to you specifically and buy these candle wicks. But the only way to know this is by looking through every single seller on the first page and kind of getting a general idea of what people are buying. And that's going to give you a great idea of how to improve your product, how to add something, how to make it better, and how to make the customer happy. And if you make the customer happy, you will also be happy.